Hello, my sweet soul sisters and brothers. Mindy here today to talk with you about some of these amazing, beautiful women that I'm talking with recently. All these beautiful clients that come to me for various reasons, but one of the themes that continues to flow through from woman to woman, and men experience this absolutely as well, is feeling like they have it all, and yet they're a little bit lost. Can you relate to that? Can you feel that? Have you ever felt that before in your life? Getting down into your life where you're like, wow, I have accomplished so much. My career was fulfilling. I did all the traveling. I made the money. I had the kids. And now what's next for me? And today what I would like to do is just have a conversation with you about why. Why do we end up feeling lost? Why do we end up feeling the sense of emptiness, like something is missing? Well, I have my theories on that. And the biggest problem is that they don't see what's really in the way or what's right in front of them. This feeling of being lost, even when you have so much, it's real. It's totally real because there's some part of you that has been lost. And you don't have to feel guilty about the amazing life that you've led and the beautiful gifts that you've received and the abundance that you've had and the generosity that you've shared. All of those are amazing things, and they will never be discounted by you feeling lost. The only way that they're discounted is by you feeling as if you continue to have to suffer in that feeling of being lost. Yeah? There are blessings in all of our lives. Even when we have a difficult life here in the West, we have so many blessings to be thankful for. And we are not going to discount any of that. But dear sister, dear brother, you are meant for so much more than that. So much more is waiting for you to tap in, to stop living in your comfort zone and to actually step out and become the full, bold, beautiful woman and man that you know yourself to be. I think a lot of this comes from us not being totally connected with three primary things. Number one, not owning our value. All right? We put our value in other things. We put our value in our profession. Like, I'm a really great lawyer, or I'm a really great teacher, or I'm a really great engineer, or whatever it is that you do for your job. You put your value there. So what happens if you step back and you say, I'm not going to do my job anymore, or I'm going to change careers, or I'm going to retire? Has anybody ever met somebody who's retired and fallen apart? It's because they put all of their value in their work, in their professional life. And yes, that gives you some experiences and gives you a sense of accomplishment, but that is not where your true value lies. Okay, I want you to think back. Just do this little thing with me if you wouldn't mind. Close your eyes and think back to the day you were born. And you have no conscious recollection of this, but you know it happened. And you can imagine the scene. You can imagine your mom in the hospital room, at home, wherever you were born, in a backseat of a car. Who knows where you were born? But put yourself in that situation where your mother just birthed you. You came out of her, and whatever version that was, you came out of your mother, this perfect little package of a human who had 10 fingers and 10 toes, 2 eyes, a nose, a mouth, 2 ears. You were perfect on that day. And I want you to think back to that day and really put yourself into your infant self's position. You were 2 minutes old. 2 minutes. You're being held in your mother's arms. Your father is coming in or has already been there participating in this whole event. And they're just beaming with love for you. You don't have any skills. You don't know how to do anything yet. You don't have a job, and you certainly don't have any credentials. Ask yourself right now, were you worthy as a 2-minute-old infant? Were you valuable as a 2-minute-old brand new human? Yeah. Yes. You were absolutely worthy at that moment in time, because it's not your job that gives you worth. It's not your degrees that give you worth. It's not how many people you help and serve that gives you worth. Those are all amazing things that you do along the way. But when you own your value, that it is something innate within you that you were born with, and just because now you've done all these things, you've lived your life, you've gained patterns and habits and beliefs, doesn't mean you're any more or less valuable. Okay? It is also recognition. Feeling lost is also realizing that you've lost touch with your own love. Loving yourself. It's so easy for most humans to love others, to love on them, to give them things, to support them. But when I talk with people, asking them about why they love themselves, it's a difficult conversation. And I hope that you know exactly why you're worthy of love. But you, out of everyone on this planet, deserve your love and adoration, your love and respect and nurturing. You. And when we disconnect from that, we start to feel a little bit lost. When we disconnect from our value, we feel lost. And then there's also one other thing, but the big three: value, self-love, and losing clarity. And clarity is related to being who you are, knowing who you are, why you're here, and what you want to accomplish, how you want to serve. Service is a part of all of our dharmas. We're all here to support each other in one way or another. And so losing that clarity, filling your mind with so much clutter, so much stuff, anxiety, politics, all of the riots and the protests that are going on, filling yourself with all this stuff, work, drama, frustration with how things are going right now with the pandemic, with kids in school, or like kind of mediocre school with the online stuff. You can fill your head with all the things. You can tell yourself that you have a to-do list that you haven't got done yet, and that you're just so frustrated with yourself because you haven't done it yet. But you're causing so much stress in that mind that it doesn't know which way to go. And that's when we start to lose clarity. That's when we start to lose our direction. And so these three things combined cause a lot of stress, a lot of pain and suffering. You forget who you are. Has anybody ever felt that way? Have you ever felt that way of being so much good in your life and feeling just kind of shitty about it all at the same time? Okay, the primary problem here is that you have lost touch with your soul. You've forgotten the part of you that is so real, it never changes. I mean, our human bodies, every single cell regenerates itself and is completely different. Some people will say 11 months. Some people will say 7 years. I don't really know what the real number is. It doesn't matter. What matters is that this body, this thing doesn't stay the same ever. Literally, I ate some bad hummus yesterday and had to lay down for the rest of the day because it just made me nauseous. And today I'm back on top because this amazing human system of ours is working for our highest good and healing. It knows what to do. Our minds are the things that get in the way of our divinity, get in the way of our divine intelligence. I didn't have to tell my stomach how to heal itself. And you don't have to tell yourself how to get out of being lost. What happens is that when you go in and you find yourself, then you no longer feel lost because you are now home. Welcome yourself home to yourself. That's what this game is about. Life is about taking on this journey where we can be so distracted by all the shiny objects, we can totally lose focus on who we really are. And it's fun. It's fun to do all that stuff. And yet, when we come back home, that is when all that other stuff can happen, and freaking it's awesome. It's just joy. It's just right. You know your value. You love yourself because you are a freaking amazing human being, okay? And you know the direction you're heading. That is the biggest problem we are facing in the world right now, in my humble opinion. We're facing a problem where we are no longer connected to our true selves, to our highest self, to our superheroes. And that is where this disconnect is coming from. That's where all the discord is coming from. That's why people want us to be separate, because they want us to no longer feel like we can be connected to our neighbors or to our colleagues or to our friends or to another person of another race. But we lose all that. We forget. And we dive into all that separation when we have separated from our true selves. It's the only way it can happen. It's the only way that we can really feel this rift between another person and you, is because you've forgotten that home within yourself. You've forgotten the greatness that you are. You've forgotten that you are a bright, brilliant being of light and love, and everyone else is as well. Because when you know yourself, you know everybody else. You see yourself in everyone. You see that same light in your neighbors, in your friends, in the protesters, in the politicians on your side, and the politicians on the other side. You see that. And that is how we start to come back home. That's how we start to feel less lost. Okay? When you have that sense of connection, depth of who you really are with your sweet soul self, your highest self, your divine intelligence. Okay? Then the next step is to start going in there and ask, what are my heart's desires? What are my deepest dreams? Yeah, when you're feeling lost, it's impossible to know what your dreams are. You're like, well, I don't know, I want to travel. I want to stop my job at some point. I think this thing over here could be really cool, but it's always out there. It's always something changing out there. And that doesn't mean that doesn't happen, and it won't happen, but you're putting your dreams into somebody else's hands. You're putting your dreams in the fulfillment of the next step in your career. You're putting your dreams into the fulfillment of a degree. You're putting your dreams into making a certain amount of money. And yeah, those are all part of your dream, but why? Why do you want those things? There's so many external things that we can all appreciate about each other. But I want you to come back to that first reason we talked about why we get lost, is because we put our value in everything but ourselves. Do you ever do that? It is really time for us to bring it back in, to know that this soul within, they're the ones that want everything in the highest order for us. Joy, happiness, abundance, a job in alignment with your highest self, friends that support you, a husband or a wife that is on your side, children that are aligned with you. I mean, like, everything comes through so much more purely and clearly when we are here at home within ourselves. I mean, just saying it in that way, how many of you feel like you're not home in your own body? You don't feel safe in your own body. You don't appreciate your body. I mean, just looking at it as a physical thing, it's hard to really own all of this. okay? This whole thing, everything, it's you. It's you and it's not you. This body is the home of your sweet self, and you need to keep inviting that part of you back in. Back in, back in. Let it feel so safe and so secure, so loved and trusted. You know, when the soul wants us to listen all the time, it's us that don't listen or ignore or repress or say, hey, no, not this time. It's not, that doesn't make sense to me. I'm going to go ahead and do it the logical way because I can't trust my heart. I can't trust my soul. Okay, so when we are in alignment, we can trust our inner wisdom. We do know that our intuition is guiding us in the right direction. Then we can find that goal. Then we can find the dream and really let it be big. Yeah, like for me, my dream is to serve. It's to serve humanity. But if I'm trying to serve humanity from a place of me needing to fill my own self-worth by helping other people, it's not going to work. But if I am whole and then I share that wholeness with another person, then then it's just wholeness. So that's where the dream comes through. And that's where the clarity comes through. Knowing your direction is so important, because if you don't know where you're going, how are you ever going to get anywhere? Okay? And the third step, so important, is now that you've tapped into your true self and it's guiding your way, you're listening, you've got a trusting relationship going on, now you have to decide who's going to show up for this dream. Is it going to be the supervillain who keeps you small and keeps you limited and keeps you scared and in the same loops, downward spirals? Or is it going to be your superhero? Somebody who's going to say, yes, I'm all in. I am committed to making this dream happen. I don't know freaking how it's going to happen, but I'm all in. And I'm going to do whatever it takes to really make this dream of mine come true. That is how you start moving forward. That's how you get out of feeling lost. Tap into your true self. Figure out what is the dream. Let the soul guide you into that dream. And then decide who's going to show up to help you feel committed to that dream. All right, now I want you to ask 3 questions of yourself. Now that you're sort of like kind of in this mojo of figuring out who it's for, or building that relationship with yourself, then you're figuring out, okay, this is where I want to go. This is who I want to serve. This is how I am meant to be a part of this world. Then you've got the clarity. You know which way you're going to go. I want you to ask yourself 3 questions. What do I need to put down in order for me to get there? What do I need to put down? And this might be old beliefs, patterns, pain that you've carried forward and suffered through for years and years and years. This can be so many different things. What are you willing to put down? Okay. Next, what are you willing to pick up? What new beliefs do you need to be the man or the woman that can get you into this new experience, this new place of joy and light and love and abundance and alignment? Where you want to go? What do you need to pick up? What new skills, what new patterns, what new beliefs, what habits do you need to pick up to get you there? Okay, and thirdly, what will you no longer tolerate? What will you no longer tolerate? It's a big question, and it's so simple. This helps you tap into your true identity of who's going to show up. If you're no longer going to tolerate people putting you down or you putting yourself down, great. You're no longer going to tolerate not making enough money, great. Then know who has to show up in order to get to that goal. Own that part of you. Declare it. Yeah? Find a peer group who will support you. All right, this is so important. When you are working on your highest self, on alignment, on something new, something big, something that is in alignment with your highest purpose, your dharma, you can do it alone. Okay, there's like 1 out of 10,000 people can do it alone. But most of us will have better, faster results if we come together and serve each other. Because they will help you. Your peer group will help you. They will stand up for you. They will believe in your dream and in you more than you do sometimes. And they'll help you if you fall backwards, if you get lost, if you get distracted by the shiny objects. They will help you. A coach is something very similar. Get a coach who can be a part of that peer group because they have a completely different perspective. You can have a setback. And when you're all alone, it feels like you're all alone and you just start spiraling down into the what ifs and oh my gosh, and I can't do this anymore. And you build up your campground and you start building a fire and roasting marshmallows and you camp out in this downward spiral. But with a coach and a peer group on your side, you share what's going on, you get asked better questions, and you move yourself right out of that thing because you have support. You don't have to do any of this alone. Working on yourself, working on your spirit can absolutely be done on your own, but to have someone there guiding you, showing you the way, it's priceless. Absolutely priceless. The crazy thing is that most of us realize logically that if we do the same thing, we're going to continue to get the same results. We know this. And yet we stay stuck in our comfort zone. We don't want to move out of our comfort zone. We feel so steady here. And yet I think right now you're probably feeling the discomfort of your comfort zone. Yeah, can you relate to that? You're like, I need to get out of here. I need to do something different. But when you step out of that comfort zone, discomfort comes in. It's a little uncomfortable to get out of there. And you kind of want to go back in. Okay, that's where your peer group can really help you shine and step out. And then your comfort zone grows. And then you have to get out of that comfort zone. And it's a little freaky, a little scary to get out of that next comfort zone. But you keep growing, you keep expanding when you have support, when you have a team, when you have a coach on your side. That's the gift that they can give you, is to really keep you on track of what is your goal. And how are we going to get you there? How are we going to get there faster together than if you were doing this alone? We're going to get you right back to your superhero, to your highest self, faster than you know is possible right now. Instead of feeling like you take 2 steps forward and 85 backwards, you're going to take 2 steps forward, a baby step back, and then 5 more steps forward. And a little bit backward, and then 10 steps forward. This is the gift that you have that you can give yourself. And that's exactly what I want for you. I absolutely adore serving people and helping them step into their fullness, getting them out of this feeling of being lost and stuck, because you don't have to stay there. You don't have to stay there at all, ever. You are bright and brilliant and so good. And I want you to be able to realize that as much as I realize that. Okay, I do have the perfect course for you. It is called Sacred Fulfillment. It is something that will help you discover your dharma, your true purpose, and help you align with that inner sense of self. Find your true self. Let her or him be your guiding light so that you can tap into your dreams and then find that ability to choose who will take you forward into the next steps of your life. Book a call with me. If this feels right, book a call with me. I love to talk with people. It's totally non-obligatory. Free call. And we'll see what's getting in the way of your life and move you forward. Because that's what you can do. You can move forward. You don't have to stay lost and stuck forever. I want to love and serve on you, and I have an amazing community that will be there for you as well. All right, so if you have any questions, please feel free to DM me, and then allow yourself the opportunity to really stretch your wings, to take that leap of faith, and to trust that you don't have to do this alone, to trust that your soul is guiding you in the right direction, and to get really resourceful so that you can work with the people you need to work with to launch your life forward. All right, so much love to you. I love you, I love you, I love you. To book a call with me, just go to mindyarbuckle.com/talk, and we will talk. In the next couple of days, we'll talk, we'll get things sorted out, and we'll see if this program is right for you. If it is, awesome. If it isn't, then we'll part as friends, and you're still going to get a lot of great value out of just spending 45 minutes together. All right. So much love to you. Talk to you soon.